All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. It's very morning for me. But welcome, Lali-Ho, and greetings. This is week four of the Lali-Ho League Swiss rounds. We have Nightdew facing off against microKorgs. I am Huffin in the booth, joined by Alchemy. Alchemy, how you doing?
Hello, I am doing fine. Very excited about this.
Yeah, we have two of our 2-1 competitors from this event. Face up. I see a child. I see boss hunts.
That is so nice, especially that Dark Knight. Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, that's one of those free fights where we're really putting free in quotation marks a little bit. You don't have to attack to complete that fight, but you do have to be able to survive 3 dark waves, and that could be rough.
Yeah, I don't know about free, especially in some spots with high physical attack. That's like scary.
Yeah, but of course the big challenge is figuring out where that guy even is. Same with the Magus sisters. So we'll see if different runners have different approaches based on if these are character hunts or boss hunts that our 2 random objectives turn out to be for their seed. Of course, the first 3 are consistent throughout the entire Swiss round. We always have to do some combination of Cave Magnus, trading away the Pink Tail, forging the Legend Sword. All depends on what shows up, which 4 of the 5 we actually go and do. But Alchemy, how do you feel about the child, the boy, the Palom?
I feel very nice because Palom, as we all know, gets some very strong spells very early. So with just some, even just like Amply on EXP, you can get Palom online for the rest of the overworld fairly easily.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. It's definitely the more reliable Black Mage, I would say. Rydia, in this flag set, she has enough trouble just in terms of getting leveled up. And, that whole XP curve thing, it's a little unfortunate. So if you're going to be leaning on a mage-heavy party, this is going to be one of your strong damage dealers for doing so.
Unless there's a cheeky Leviathan or Bahamut that shows up early. We don't know.
Those are always nice to have. But I mean, when you're summoning the king of all dragons, is that still Black Mage? Like there's a job distinction here. But oh well. Now, taking a quick look at how these 2 runners have gotten to this point thus far. So far, Nightdew has had generally faster seeds and come out ahead in those fronts. microKorgs seems to, just by the luck of the dice, have gotten a bit sloggier of seeds, but he has managed to pull through on the majority of those. So it may be that if we get more of a jet seed, Nightdew could have the advantage here, or maybe microKorgs can pull that sort of thing out, or maybe there's absolutely no correlation and I'm just filling time until our runners start.
Here they go.
Well, hey, we found Dark Knight Cecil. Wait.
Ooh, nice start.
Yeah, that is free underground access.
That's just about like at the very least 2 freaky items to underground. Very nice.
Yeah, just remember to check your freebies.
This is very exciting. Like Brian Soren points out in chat that we don't know when these runners will decide to go underground. We might see a divergence on routing pretty much at any time. That's very exciting to me.
Absolutely. That Magma Key, of course, opens up the entire underground, and with T Wildish as one of our flags here, the treasure underground is going to be slightly better on average. It's a bit more dangerous to gather, but Nightdew is apparently willing to take on that danger.
Wow, here we go. Divergence like minute 1.
Yeah, you gotta love to see it when the game opens up like this. And we saw Mylon, probably Mylon Z, in the first spot at the Baron Inn talking to Tella.
That tell is nice, especially for that exit early on.
Yeah, you have to get through those fights that are there, and you're probably not doing that right out of the gate. You need to get a little bit of XP.
microKorgs doing some extended looting of Baron. That seems interesting to me. Usually people kind of ignore those back forest chests a bit, but he's going all in.
Yeah, I don't think they're weighted especially heavier on this flag set, but yeah.
Oh wow, Nightdew gathering information right away. Knowledge is power, folks.
Yeah, and doing some of his own extended looting, heading up to the towers of Dwarf Castle. You very rarely see this. And that should encourage the loot here to be that much better. We see a tiara, for example. No characters who can wear it, but it's good headgear to have.
Oh, I see. Since the Dwarf Castle is underground, chests are weighted a little much better, right?
Yep, they are a little better just by that virtue, and spots that are out of the way tend to be a little better on average. The more out of the way they are, the better they end up being. But of course, that's always an on average thing, so you're not guaranteed to get the good stuff.
Ooh, that's a rune axe. Very nice.
But thus far, microKorgs kind of following a standard opening, kind of ignoring the magma key for the time being.
Yeah, while Nightdew just going all in on the magma key, hoping to get some extra loot and some extra information early on, which is honestly a really solid play in my eyes.
Yeah, but microKorgs getting some unfortunate information. We have the Eblin royalty at the waterfall.
Oh no!
Which, that is hard to see because that is the freest of free fights, and you never have to do that slot.
And Nightdew, the runner of the people, checking Job Dwarf. It was something about radioactive.
Yeah, something about radiation, and then I averted my eyes for health and safety purposes. No, he was going through so quick, I didn't catch that.
Because these runners are going too fast, pressing those A buttons.
These racers try to be swift. How dare they?
Ooh, and that's a young. Very nice to find early on, because as you may know, there is no slingshotting in this flag set. So finding a young early can pay off very nice if you race him.
Yeah, the best equipment to give Yang is levels. So the earlier you get them, the faster you can accumulate that.
Mm-hmm.
And having
always solid.
Has Thor Mages on hand.
Very nice. And we'll see what the Fame March has in store for us soon enough. Some decent equipment right off the gate. Very nice.
Oh yeah, some power robes. Those would be great for Yang. Great for really any physical fighter. And we do find an Earth Crystal in the Fame March freebie, so that's 2 character checks, 2 boss checks, a treasury, lots of stuff going on.
Our glasses for those free fights and for grinding. You'll love to see it. To me, it feels like Nightdew's early underground dive. It's pretty much paying off, in my personal opinion. Finding some good stuff, some good info. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely inclined to agree. microKorgs does get through and gets that Yang, but he was knocked out at the end of the fight, so it doesn't get that initial bit of XP. But does just have the general power boost of a 3rd character.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
And speaking of, that's a power couple. That's the karate fight and the DKC fight down in the Fame March.
Spots are rough for both of those bosses. Ooh.
Yep. I mean, of course, the karate fight, if you have Paladin Cecil, you can make that go by kind of quickly, but again, you gotta be able to survive in both of those spots first.
Goodness gracious. At the very least, there are ways to quote unquote cheese these bosses. So if you get a nice party going, like say you find, I don't know, an Eddie, or you get the Paladin Cecil, so you'll probably be fine as long as you survive.
And we have. We're just extending this divergence at this point. Nightdew heading over to the Troya Treasuries, hitting up the public one, will be hitting up the private one. Yep, right about now. As microKorgs is taking on this guards fight.
Great Vast Treasury!
Let's see what the treasury has in store for us this time.
So far, it's okay. That the Zeus gauntlets really help. Life staff could be handy. Okay, getting more Zeus gauntlets, an elixir.
I think that's pretty decent, especially for like max 6. Very nice.
Yeah, we can't get tier 7 loot in random chests. They have to be trap chests or at the end of some key item chain. So not half bad. microKorgs grabbing an Avenger. That's the sort that you wish you found in that treasury, because that's quite good.
So far, that Yang and that Paladin Cecil, when we get him, are gonna be online in like no time flat. It's very exciting to see.
Yeah, I think the main challenge that we have here is just it's a lot of good gear for characters we don't have, and we don't have like any characters.
Yeah, huh? We'll see if Nightdew starts clearing up like overworld checks now. It seems to be the case.
Yeah, he's probably feeling a bit more prepared, and certainly picking up Mr. Punch will help. But going to ordeals is gotta be a priority for both of our runners. Get that Cecil turned into a paladin and make him really useful.
Mm-hmm. And now we seem to have a bit of a reversal, than like the start of the seed, where now microKorgs is the one going underground while Nightdew is the one clearing overworld. Funny how that works, huh?
Yeah. Nightdew could have a slightly easier time having some of that new and shiny gear, but I didn't really see him equip a whole lot of it outside of gearing up that Palom.
Might be saving up on like inventory time. Like the less time you spend on inventory, the more time you can spend clearing the game.
It's very true. But that's a solid Boreas, and that is a Leviathan down.
Very nice. microKorgs opening the magma key check, but going to ordeals instead. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess. Again, prioritize getting the Paladin.
And microKorgs doesn't even know about the karate down there. Huh.
Yeah, I think whenever he does find out, it's still gonna be a ways before until he actually does those fights.
Problem.
Knowing how rough they are.
Nightdew seems to be going for the Kabul defense. We'll see which boss is waiting for us here. Hopefully something a little rude, so it's not in the later spots.
Yeah, he didn't go and talk to Bedridden Yang, so it is going to be a double, possibly triple visit. This is sort of like compacting that I almost would expect from runners. But one-shotting the dolls with the Boreas, that makes up a lot of lost time.
That was fast. Sheesh. Oh, Dark Imps. A lot of really like quote-unquote free spots, like free bosses in early spots. You hate to say it.
Oh,
Ooh,
well,
that's
I
a-
guess a double football at least is required. That is the pan from the king.
It's nice to get it now instead of later for sure.
Also nice to know that the king of football indulging a bit in his culinary education. It's
Nice.
good, nice to be well rounded.
Some classic bull monk cooking, I suppose. I don't know what that is, but I imagine very tasty, especially coming from a can.
I have no idea actually. So I'm right there with you.
Going to check out on that pan immediately. Remember, folks, check your freebies, do your objectives.
And of course, down here in the Self Cave, the treasure here is going to be especially good if you're willing to brave the 7 trap chests. There's quite a few, and they would annihilate this party right now. So don't blame Nightdew for not bothering to loot, just making this run straight down. Getting a rat tail for doing so.
Very nice. Already paying off, can't check. While microKorgs finds yet another free boss. Wow. Let's
Yeah.
hope the boom doesn't have anything. Let's hope the boom is haunted. Oh boy.
It does punch a little bit, but especially if you've got a source of lightning offense, thunderclaws, lip bolts, any of that. Everything Luge is robot, so yeah, solid damage just from a low level lit 2. But
We'll
honestly,
see.
these vampires are really paying off. This is a strong strategy here.
And now we will see if Sheila has the goods. Another. Oh, she
you know,
does.
we'll take that. I dare say we take that. Our third set of Zeus gauntlets is fine depending on our party composition, but that darkness crystal, very, very handy, very helpful.
You know what I love to see that we don't see enough of? Early moon dives. Those are really exciting to watch. But after watching like basically almost every free boss being like front loaded in this seed, I'm a little scary about that prospect. So I'm hoping they don't do that.
But Nightdew is willing to at least raise the whale. Even if you're not willing to do the fights that are up there, there is the free character at the Lunar Dais. And Nightdew's sitting on 3-person party right now. You might as well grab somebody.
And if you're feeling especially cheeky, you can even check a couple bosses just to see who they are, to have that knowledge. Could pay off, perhaps.
Yeah, because again, we are looking for 2 bosses, and we have seen one of them. So if you happen to face check the Magus Sisters, well, you've done boss hunting, and now you're just trying to prepare for those fights.
Very true.
It kind of changes around how you approach the seed at that point. It becomes less about exploration and more about preparation.
Ooh, that is a spoon. Not what you want to see, but still nice.
Yeah, that is unfortunately the ultimate weapon for the holiest of classes, the Bard, not the Paladin. Nor do you want to see this Golbex.
Oh no! Oh, this is terrible.
It's comedy night here on Mount Ordeals.
At the very least, Shadow Dragon will only eat one character here, so it'll be shorter. But oof.
Yeah, and the fight after the fact will be very rapid. This bot has very little HP. But still, you hate to sit through it.
And on Nightdew's side, we have a white mage, Porom in this case. That's nice because of the early source of exit.
Yeah,
and
and
of course, just having a healer is very powerful in this game, especially for the circle-leaning strategies.
yep, is going to give her the heroine robe, though, which does reduce your magic potency in favor of buffing basically everything else.
Well, those strength and agility multipliers will come in handy for when Porom has her early levels and spell list. Later on, you might want to swap those for a staff. But right now, very nice, for sure.
Oh, and I love this play that Nightdew is doing. You're saying, you know, do a bit of checking, do a bit of risky play. This might be this is gonna be a play into the hair dryers.
That's bold. I like it.
Yeah, if you've got an hourglass and the ability to survive 4 swings, which that might be the hard part, you can stop these enemies and just whittle them away with maybe twin casted comet or something else.
You get
Huge XP splash.
Yeah, you get some great XP, you get some good loot because you're aiming for a treasure chest anyway, so you're not like scared of it. And also, you might get a really powerful equipment. So let's see if this pays off. Meanwhile, microKorgs is done with the nasty ha 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 and has his brand new shiny paladin Cecil. Very nice. Will the hourglass come out before Yang dies? We'll see.
Looks like we might be safe here.
No, that was a life potion. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. So the attacks were queued up. I see.
Yep. No. When you use an hourglass, the enemies do get a chance to actually do all of their queued up attacks. I must have missed something in there because Nightdew went and reset.
Huh?
It seemed like he was recovered just fine.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Are you immune to instant death spells?
You know, I have never tried to cough in the hair dryers. But yeah, our tracker Taven and Scala they have both mentioned you can't cough in hair dryers, so you're gonna have to take a different approach. And those they got HP. They got HP. They got a fair bit of not dying. And that's unfortunate. So Nightdew headed back to the blue planet.
So folks, you learn something new every day. Meanwhile, microKorgs facing off against full leg Rubicam.
Yeah, this might be a less threatening fight, just because the magic power here should not be that terrible, but this bot does punch. So if he starts doing that, you might be in a little bit of worry. And of course, glare is glare, so there's that.
Yeah, for sure. I still feel it is definitely doable, especially with that Avenger.
Oh yeah, Cecil's putting out some solid damage every turn, so... Yep, there we go.
He's going so fast.
So that is a vanilla Baron Key and everyone's favorite Grandpa Sage joining the party.
Very nice. Finding the Baron Key this early. Baron Key is 2, possibly 3 bosses that, you can face check the audience spot just to have that knowledge if you wanted to this early on in the seed. That's a very nice find this early.
Yeah, I would be a fair bit scared of actually doing the Odin fight, but you're right, you can get that information, and since we are on that boss hunt, microKorgs is looking for both of our bosses as he has not gone down to the Fey March, but it looks like that is what he's currently doing. So we'll get that bit of info.
Makes sense. I don't think he will be happy seeing the Fey March. But it would be nice knowing that Dark Knight Cecil is there.
Look, you're guaranteed to get information. It's not guaranteed to be pleasant information.
That is correct.
But meanwhile, Nightdew found some enemies that are vulnerable to instant death, namely the Dark Imps at the front of Mount Ordeals, and has gotten through now to take on Dr. Dialogue himself, Dr. Luge.
microKorgs getting some nice loot down at the Fame Arch. And suddenly not finding his very own party rock. So far, both our runners have been very solid, just doing check after check and learning about the city, just like mostly gathering a lot of information. And I think that's going to be very important for the rest of the city.
Yeah, with things opening up so early and so aggressively, you're really like trying to make your plans from here. Like microKorgs now seeing that objective number 4 is down here, so you're able to say, okay, that's not a mystery, that's a puzzle to solve now. How do I get my party in a position where I can handle that?
I really enjoy when racers step into this room and they stop for like a full second. And it's like, oh boy, here we go again. And you can just like feel the gears in their head like grinding and turning, like, oof, okay, let's go.
You can hear that record scratch. You're like, you might be wondering how I found myself in this position.
Yeah, exactly. microKorgs does not have the pen, so it will seem that he's going to have to triple the patrol.
Yeah, this is a reasonable move because this is a freebie, but it turns out that Nightdew fading that freebie was actually the correct choice. That's how it goes sometimes.
Nightdew is done with Dr. Dialogue. And now he will have the bad news of what's awaiting at the crystal room at the top of our deals.
I just realized this makes Dr. Luge like the opening act before the main comedian gets on stage. I feel like I would want a refund of the ticket at this point, but
Yeah, he does his laugh really hard, and then summon a big spooky noodle, and it waves around, and then it leaves because it's like full, and then
yeah, it's not a great bit.
yeah,
is
right.
The thing.
I agree. Like some people really have like contagious laughs, but I don't know, like ho ho ho. It's not really cutting it for me. Shala with the info that Golvis is played by a really good actor in Japanese, and I believe it. But this is Final Fantasy IV for the Super Nintendo, sadly. So all we get is ha ha ha.
Now I need to go look up who does his voice in the English version. The 3D version of this game does have like a lot of it's full voice acting, I dare say.
And a very nice dub, I will add, personally. Okay, of course, finding his dolls. We'll get the unfortunate news about the pen.
Yeah, it does still have that Avenger on Cecil, so he's just kind of going. It's one of those fights that can be a little dangerous to just kind of go, but the numbers seem small enough on his party that I'm not terribly worried.
So just so spur, and that's all he needs to do, really. I will say that it is very interesting how in this flag set you can have either just like a seed that's just check to check to check to check, and just like almost like quasi-linear, where you just progress through the seed, and then some seeds like this where it's just like bam, open, just like go nuts, explore. And the variance in this flag set is very pleasant.
Yeah, and yet, we have the entire overworld open, at least for on Nightdew's side. But we're still seeing, 26 minutes in, 27 minutes in, a lot of overlap, a lot of covering the same bases. And that's partly just because, you have the whole world open to you, but there's still, the difficulty of various locations. You don't want to go into something that's really rude really early. That ends up kind of consolidating routes a little bit. I'm a little surprised Nightdew hasn't gone to Zot yet, but you do want to get Ordeals out of the way, so that might be his next move.
I could see it being the next move for sure. It will see that microKorgs is going for it.
Could be going into Zot, could be going to visit the treasury. Nope, that is a treasury check first.
Makes sense. The treasury tends to have good stuff. And getting his old man, his very young old man. Hey, remember folks, my own C is undead. I know it's easy to forget,
Yeah.
but he really is.
Yeah, you can cure him to death if you want to. Yeah, I don't think that applies on Mylon and Friends, but definitely applies on Mylon C. And then you get the Elements fight, and that's all sorts of shenanigans in there. But Nightdew does get halfway through with just a cure too, so can't be mad about that.
Elements, they're there. Stuff happens.
That's a fight. It's a fight that occurs in the video game for sure.
Weaknesses and resistances are there. It's fine. So microKorgs is going to do Sod right now. Very nice. It's going to be exciting to see which characters and bosses await us at the top. And if anything, maybe a cheeky flame dog chest. We'll see.
I think he's leaving himself open to that, if nothing else. Because again, T Wildish means these are going to be a little bit better because of that trap chest threat. But microKorgs has decent source of ice. Nightdew having that same source was able to just plow through the Rubicante fight. But not gonna go for the ones way out of the way. Gonna take those early ones and just call it there.
And if a flame dog pops up, you just take it. That's fine too. A dog is fine too.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nightdew opting to go Baron first before Zod. Interesting.
Yeah, similarly skipping out on some of the treasure chests that are here. This has been kind of a standing question throughout the Lali-Ho League, is just how much do you bother looting? So you have T Wildish, so there's a little bit of weight as you're going through the game. You have C Neki, so you're a little under geared to start off. But you have good, especially here, you have the treasury. Like, you've got good stuff. Do you really need better stuff?
Yeah, perhaps Nightdew feels that he's good on gear. Oh boy.
Ooh, not much gear gonna help you here.
Yeah. We see a Wyvern at the nasty high HP spot. This spot of the Magus Sisters combines the HP of the three sisters into one entity, so this spot has doubly high HP.
Yeah, fortunately, the speed
Phew.
is to his advantage, and he gets through with 2 characters surviving.
Very nice. Dodge that bullet. Meanwhile, we see Asura on Nightdew side in the Pygan spot. This shouldn't be too bad.
Yep, this is another fight that is rendered free with the use of wall strats. Asura will not attack unless you attack, and will just keep trying to cure and life herself. But throw a wall on her, and that'll just bounce back to you.
Eh, Peasants mentioning on chat that Nightdew has not checked Antlion. Is Nightdew pulling off like a PK special?
He very well could be, and it's not going to punish him outside of like not getting that Avenger Sword. Which, hey, Avenger Sword is very handy, but a Rune Axe on a Mage type enemy, that's going to go burr even harder.
With the second Cecil and
but-
a Bard. Interestingly, taking that Bard over second Cecil. You don't see that every day. That's interesting.
No, Edward is great for niche strategies. Many of them do involve equipping the spoon, which is a thing you can do in this flag set.
And don't forget Dark Knight Cecil.
Oh yeah, cheesing that fight, cheesing Evil Wall. Fortunately, Nightdew finding Water Hag on the throne rather than the Fabul Gauntlet. I was worried / hopeful for a moment, but instead it's a free fight.
The more nice bosses we see in the overworld, the more scared I get for the moon. Seriously, it keeps happening.
And Edward doing just maximum glass cannon here. That spoon is the most powerful weapon in the game, even with Super Smith around. Edward is not the most powerful boy in the game. So
Balance that. Very nice, both finishing up their respective key item checks pretty much at the same time.
and we find that another Tella is the character here in Baron Castle, immediately gone.
Bye. Both these dungeons with quite longish cutscenes. But soon enough we will see what their reward was. Ooh, a behemoth for the Rydia that's perhaps not even in the Sid at this point.
Yeah, we have distinct 10, so there are 13 character slots, counting the 2 that you start with. 10 characters to fill them, 3 duplicates. We've already seen 2 duplicates, a dupe Cecil and a dupe Tella. There's always that possibility that Rydia just isn't around.
Ooh, and there's that tower key. Nightdew will be happy that he doesn't have to do Keyless Tower, for sure.
Yeah, that Nightdew just following that chain, and the chain continues on. And is gonna go face check the Odin spot and potentially fight it, but I would feel a bit threatened by it, honestly.
I mean, it is a very threatening spot for sure, and we have already seen almost all the free bosses. I think we only are missing the Kaipo guards, I think.
Yep, the officer soldier fight would be pretty free. That's okay.
Instant reset.
I appreciate the thematics of this, as we have blue robes on both of our thrones, but the evil one is down at the Odin spot. That is the ult gauntlet, and in that spot, it is late game summoned fights. It is tough.
Nightdew finally giving in and not doing the PK special and not fading the Antlion. So he will get his shiny Avenger, which is very nice to have. Calling it now, I don't think either of these races will do Odin spot. I doubt it, unless it's hard.
Yeah. And it would have to be a hook that leads. Actually, no.
I don't think it's possible that it's hard required at this point, so I don't think either of these runners are going to even bother with the
twin harp. A twin harp that leads to a hook or an Excalibur piece. That would do it.
Good call. Yeah. Let's hope not.
Or I guess if it's the hook itself, you would have to have Demist at the King Queen Evelyn spot.
Oh yeah. Don't forget the King Queen Evelyn spot. Sheesh.
Yeah, but regardless, fair chance that we're not going to have to see that gauntlet, but
Thankfully.
not impossible.
I mean, the fights are, aside from the Odin spot itself, like, the fights are drawn from the Feymarch world, if I'm not mistaken. Is it?
Yes, I believe so.
That's a little dangerous.
A little very, yeah.
And Nightdew going to check Sot. Very nice. Won't be very nice when he gets the Behemoth, but the second Cecil or the Edward will be very pleasant to have.
Yeah, they both have the spoon, so they're both
There
able
it
to do
is.
these glass cannon things. MicroKorgs
There it
maybe
is.
trying for it.
We'll see if this pays off.
Oh, that'll do it.
If I recall correctly, C-Buy is on, yes?
Yeah, C-Buy. So, if Nightdew doesn't take an Edward here, he's not gonna have the Edward.
Yeah. So sacrificing the second Cecil for an Edward to do this check very early could pay off, or not. So we will see. And folks, don't forget to unequip your Avengers. It's easy to forget. It's happened to everyone.
Yeah, at this point, MicroKorgs is, I don't know, taking that Edward, clearly leaning into the cheeky hide strats. And apparently, if everyone in the party is dead, Dark Knight Cecil will just do his speech immediately.
Yep. Just
so
like
that's cool.
Bye. Edward gets a ton of levels. There's the objective. And a protect ring. Ooh. At the very least, the spoon flag is on, so Edward can do nice work with that spoon. So it is not a total loss, thankfully.
Yeah,
A
but
good play, I know.
Yeah, but ultimately that was an objective, but not any sort of progression. Also means it's not hard required.
Nightdew having no issues with the Wyvern and keeping the entire party alive for the XP. Very nice. We will see what Korgs tries to do after this. Oh boy.
Oh, this is a bold move.
I mean, with Paladin Cecil, you only have to survive, if correct me if I'm wrong, 2 punches and a kick, perhaps, if that was the case.
I believe so. So that's that Cecil is surviving.
Barely.
But not much longer.
Perhaps a blink could do good work here, but oof.
You might have to keep that battle speed low.
Yeah. Instead of going to Wyvern standard time, we'll have to go to Karate standard time.
And that was a YOLO, by the way. So MicroKorgs actually loses objective number 4 from his tracker. We'll have to redo that DKC fight.
I mean,
Proved it was very straightforward to do, but we'll have to redo it.
Nightdew opting to take the second Cecil, giving the boot to Jang, and not taking Edward. Complete divergence in character selection.
Yeah, this is feeling like Nightdew's approach. Gonna just power up, power through. MicroKorgs is like, I have the cheekiest strategies known to the blue planet, and I'm going to use them.
Besson's mentioning that it's surprising to take Cecil over Edward with the spoon available. Honestly, with the Wildish, I wouldn't say it's not that surprising. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, there's plenty of really good swords for Cecil, plus really good armor, plus he has a bigger HP pool. Edward, again, he's great for these sneaky, cheeky maneuvers. And you can take on Zeromus way earlier than you're supposed to, with Edward doing some good work. But he's a squishy, he's a soft bard, and
If I recall correctly, Leviathan spot is tied for one of the highest spots with the highest physical attack. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's up there. It might be tied with the highest.
It's up there at the very least. So this is not surprising to see. This is very rude.
Yeah, it's impressive to see microKorgs just keep going at it. Again, I feel like his strategy here is, I have tactics, I have techniques, and I'm going to lean on them and hope that this is faster than just finding levels and getting beefy.
After all, you only need one bunk from Sissel. The problem is getting there. We will see what Nightdew opts to do next. Exciting.
Yeah, has taken care of Zot. Does have that tower key in hand, so might get nudged to go over there, but seems to be dropping down at Dwarf Castle, which neither of our runners have done so thus far.
Oh, interesting. We might see the Mega Sisters here then.
It's entirely possible.
And is that it? Ouch!
That's an ouch. So microKorgs is through. We did see orbs doing a dance over on Nightdew's side.
Oof.
Ah, just a gold apple.
Famer's turbo hunted Behemoth from Earth Crystal, and these two fights. Well, an objective's an objective, so.
Yeah, again, has to go and actually redo that fight to get the objective. And that apple, if you're gonna keep Edward long term, it's nice to beef him up. But yeah, no progression here, no nothing that advances the story, as it were.
Again, I'm gonna mention it. That moon looking scary.
Yeah, it's looking less and less haunted as we find ghosts elsewhere. I was about to say this game only has so many ghosts, but CPU is adamant about making a few more. Doing Globe 199, with Nightdew having knocked out the front row.
The fighters doing good work with the support from the spellcasters. CPU gets down, no problem. Lots of good experience, which might be needed for top of tower.
Yeah, I don't believe we saw any indication of who would be up there. Because we didn't do a hook route, so that would be how you find out. We did know that Dark Elf would be here, thanks to our Zot visit. And the character is a ninja.
Very nice. Tela gets the boot. Like, oh man, the future's now.
And that said, this Edge palette's kind of rocking that silver hairs, like the old man has kept himself in strong physical shape over all these years. He can still put up a solid fight.
He can, that's true. So I believe we have some equipment for Edge, and with that in mind, this is a very nice pickup for. I mean, in this flag set, it will seem that it leans a bit towards the Berserker strats. So this is a no-brainer to me. Makes sense.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree, Alchemy, that Berserkers tend to be a pretty strong move. So you are generally getting good enough gear for that. We have nearly the whole cast available, so you're going to have a source of Berserk, even if you don't find Bacchus Wines. There's all the pieces you need are going to be there.
And if they don't find Sirens, Edge is always there with the ability to steal them. So that's
Yep.
very nice.
Yeah, that really helps activate your grind when you get to that point.
Yep, 2 ninja swords. Very nice. A ninja shirt and a Zeus gauntlet. Edge is online, minute 1.
Yeah, but not a ninja hat. He's not quite as ninja as he could be.
Well, that's a nice shirt. I like that shirt. Is it a good key item? No. You don't like to see it, but you take it.
Yeah, Porum has gone from battle child to healing child in a matter of moments,
Just like that.
which honestly is a great time to have that now that your party is leaning towards the classic melee fighters for doing that.
For sure. With any luck, like Tevan Gaines mentions, we will get 2 key items on this tower, and Nightdew will be online for the grind at 10 key items.
Yeah, because even though we have turned off slingshotting in this flag set, so a freshly joined character won't get bonus XP just because they're lower level, you still do get the 10 key item bonus that's generally made available. So once Nightdew gets 2 more, all of his fights will be that much more potent on that front.
Just a singular Odin at the Moon Shop. Ouchie ouch.
Yeah, that is... The Hummingways are a bit understocked today. It must have been a run on whatever they had from the previous races.
You find Behemoth, you find Self, you find Odin. But where's the Rydia?
Not appearing in this seed. I mean, she might be, we don't know, but I don't expect either of our runners to take her if she does show up.
A little late for that, especially with a Palm online with experience, for sure. By Gandong at the Super Cannon spot, we will see what awaits us at top of tower.
As microKorgs is actually not taken Porum.
Sure.
I suppose he might be comfortable with Tella taking the healing role. Might be thinking about, again, if you're holding on to Edward with a spoon, you might be thinking, let's be a little cheeky, a little clever. And the moment you're thinking like that, you're not as concerned about, a strong healer.
Makes sense, yeah. Face checking Cape Behemoth, that as we all know has the value. We will see if it has double value or just singular value.
It's not going to be Magus value as they are at the top of tower.
Oh boy. And that's a lunar sparkle at the Behemoth spot. Ooh, spooky.
But at this phase, we are now shifting from a boss hunt to a key item hunt, and we have a lot of the world open to us.
Again, if this tower doesn't pay off, well, looking kind of nice. Except, for the boss situation.
Yeah, it's a very good situation for finding the key items, and a very bad situation for whatever boss happens to be there.
To find a Kainaso up there and over Pogo. Ooh,
Valvelus?
you're not gonna have a good time. We have already seen pretty much all of the free bosses except one. Ooh.
Yeah. So Nightdew is, if only subconsciously, hoping that this leads to some progression, to some additional route, and not having to go and do really rude fights.
Nightdew doing great on the Manga Sister boss fight, having no issue whatsoever.
That's Rune Axe for you. 5k damage. These Maga Sisters, they're mages. Shock. Who knew?
And that's a Stardust Rod. Ooh. That's nice for that Palom, but again, the same position as the white shirt. It's nice to have, but it's not what you want.
Yeah, I mean, at least we're going to be well kitted when we go to the moon, but it's looking like we're going to have to go to the moon.
Yup, sure does. Unless this is like, I don't know, No. Even if this is Twin Harp, we still have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, at this point, like, there's no key item. There is the football gauntlet down at the Odin throne.
Oh no, that doesn't make sense. Stop it.
The point is, though, there are enough items remaining and not enough chain that it is highly likely our runners are going to have to go to the moon for something.
For sure. That is exciting as the viewer, but not so exciting as slowly but surely the realization dawns on our racers. That is the Luca key. Oh,
Well, you get to stay on the blue planet a little longer.
I wonder if at this point some runners will like decide to just go straight to the moon already and get it over with.
You know, it depends on. I know that we have some runners in the tournament and in the community who will do kind of an early grind before you have the 10 key items. Nightdew sitting now at 9. And with that edge, has access to sirens, would be able to crack some eggs, get a bit powered up, and then would feel a lot more comfortable face checking the moon and taking that approach. It does not look like these are those sorts of runners, for sure.
Makes sense. If you're just one key item away, to just hope that this is a key item for sure. Just so you can get the EXP you need to do the moon from top to bottom or from bottom to top.
Yeah, because again, that will double the XP that you get, so it cuts your grind time straight in half. And the egg grind has been recurring on this flag set, but we do have the Darkness Crystal. That has nudged folks towards a Warlock grind or even a Ryu grind instead. And honestly, if Nightdew goes and says, I can handle the Dark Knight with a little bit of timing, at that point, I can go up to the moon and just get all my stuff. Just go get everything. And hopefully get the pass in the doing so you can return and just, one-shot it.
Ooh, that's half a forge.
That is half a forge down in the sealed cave, yes.
That is, however, not any sort of chain. So up to the moon we go.
Oh, do we even fight this out is the question. I would reset out of this.
I don't have the chart right now, but this pod probably does not play well with magic. Just a guess.
Yeah, I mean, my train of thought on this is the Legend Sword is one half of an objective. The other half is gonna be on the moon.
Yeah,
Let me get that bit first, and then come back, do what will be a lot easier at that point.
Yeah, but the other side of that, on the other hand, you want that 10 key items. So
Yeah. No, you're right.
get through this, like push on through, just so you can get your grind out of the way and just like blow the moon wide open.
Yeah, no, that is a strong point. And Nightdew committing to not taking Edward darts the spoon.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, that's its vanilla purpose.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Spoon checks for any sort of like evasion or whatever. It just deals raw damage. So there it is. Specially designed antibiotics equipment. microKorgs going to get the bad news very shortly.
Yeah, this I mean, on the plus side, I guess if it counts as a plus side, the alt gauntlet, whatever spot it takes, it completely ignores the stats and setups for that slot, and just uses random encounters. So there's more XP to be had here. Any
Ooh.
sort of cheekiness from Odin, not relevant. It's just these Conjurer fights. I say just as if these are easy or friendly. They can be kind of rude, but Avenger carries you through.
Korgs does not. Does Tella learn float? Does he?
He does, yes. Tella does learn float upon finishing Mount Ordeals.
Might want to put float before going in here, just in case.
Yeah, I think this set has Arachnes. I'm not positive.
Let's hope not. Nightdew warping out of the steel cave with his shiny tanky items. Very nice. This better pay off for microKorgs. I mean, you see old Gauntlet down here, you want two things. Experience and it paying off, especially the latter.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, there's the clappers.
Oh dear.
So I actually think there aren't Arachnes in this set, because I think after this is the double clapper. So getting away without having to do a float, that's fine. The clappers are a little bit tough.
That's nice. Nightdew going down to the Feymarch. Probably trying to give a go at that Dark Knight Sizzle and perhaps even the Karate.
Oh, my apologies, it's just a single clapper. But I think
Honestly-
Nightdew should have the HP to help handle this.
Yeah, and has the Porum to heal up too. So, pretty much doable. Honestly, we were complaining all this time, but to be fair, that wasn't that bad. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the Masamune, though, not a key item, but great for that edge, but not a key item.
Going straight for the Karate. Gonna bonk him with the Cecil.
Yeah, I mean, you got two Cecils kicking around. It doesn't matter which one, as long as they're a paladin. They can activate the script. So
Yep.
they do have to be alive, though. That would help.
Board AI strikes again.
That is some tactical karate moves.
For sure. Oh no!
Yahong operates on his own enmity table. He knows who he wants to hit.
That's awful. It's like he knew. Doing some party rearranging for the turn order. We will see if that works out this time.
Well, still focusing on Cecil's first, apparently.
I mean, if you have an Avenger on, eventually you'll bop him as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And that blink definitely helps. Of course, you're going to spend some time whacking at Karate here before you can actually end the fight. But you know, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there. There's your ouch. So that's Nightdew through that fight, getting a good splash of XP, but no key item.
Ooh, This time I took a gander at the teleportation at the top of the tower. That was Kainatsu. So that's good. Kainatsu's not at the moon. Phew.
Yep, he is at the Rubicante spot instead, which is somehow worse. But we don't have to deal with the hook route, so
Yeah, somehow worse. Yes.
you know you could have some fun. You can have some fun, Kanazo. You go do you. We'll be going off to the moon.
Nightdew popping some apples on Paron, getting that HP up. Probably for those big bangs later on the road. Very nice.
Yeah, honestly, if you have apples in your inventory and you've decided who's going to be going to Zeromus, that's the time to just start popping them. They don't get better with time.
Yeah.
You might as well use them and clear up some space.
Wait, does Nightdew have 2 Avengers?
You know, it's entirely possible. He has been doing some scattered looting.
I saw Cecil equipped with 1, and the other Cecil had also 1. But perhaps it was just an optical illusion.
It could have been. I was honestly focusing a little more on microKorgs at that moment.
Now time for the Dark Knight Cecil. Should be fine as long as the HP is up.
Yep, just a little bit of healing between waves. I think the Cecils are going to be the only ones who survive, but survive they will.
Cutting it a little close almost, but should be fine. Battle Speed 6 Fox is very pleasant.
Yeah, you don't want to stay on it the entire seed, but when you need it, it's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but even with all that curing, wasn't enough.
Ouchie, ouch. You hate to see it. Even at Battle Speed 6, that Lax Dark Wave came out really fast, probably because the rest of the team was down at that point. And
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Edward's strats were paid off really nicely for microKorgs in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean that was the kind of trade-off that I feel like microKorgs consciously made, is saying I can do some things very early and very fast with some clever strategies, and hopefully that buys me enough time to make up for taking Edward to Zeromus.
And this time, it will seem that Nightdew is opting to keep 1 Cecil alive instead of 2, foregoing that experience for the second Cecil, instead of trying to go faster, which is generally what we try to do here. microKorgs finishing up with Tower of Babel.
Yep, as Nightdew finishes up with the DKC fight, so both of our runners sitting even on objectives. I would say Nightdew has a little bit of, that check advantage, having done the sealed cave that microKorgs is now dipping into. But that's about it. I would say Nightdew probably has the better party arrangement, but that's just because I am not good at various Eddie strats and could not do what Korgs is probably leaning towards doing.
It is very interesting to me how the seed started, like, both our runners do completely different routings, and then met up in the middle again, and then diverge again, and now they're back together again. Both of them are dreading going to the moon, but they will have to go there.
But I think Nightdew is, willing to let's just do it. Let's go to the moon. Let's decide top down, bottom up. Either way, gotta make your move.
For sure. And off he goes. We will see if he tries doing the Hamlet, perhaps, or just doing the highest density of the items. Yeah,
Nope, just go in density, I think.
that makes sense. It's more mathematically correct, whatever that even means.
Math. But our tracker Taven pointing out there is also the evil possibility Demist being in Giant.
Oh
Uh,
no, I forgot about the mist.
We do have the vanilla Giant, so if you're going to do that, you have to commit to the bit, which is a scary proposition when you're not hunting down any bosses anymore.
Yeah, if we still had 2 bosses to go, perhaps you will like say, hey, let me just go vanilla giant and I just go at the machine, get it out of the way, right? But at this point, honestly, with the objectives we have, there's no way giant is hard required. So I don't think we will be seeing giant this match for.
It would have to be another one of those harp into hook kind of situations, which would have to be a very narrow chain, and there's a much better chance that that enough stuff is up here.
Like even then, we still have the adamant around somewhere, so we will see. Gatornator asks, who was in Cave Value, which is Cave Behemoth, and it was a lunar sparkle. You know, the only spot in the moon who's not at Sparkle, that was a Sparkle.
Yeah. But how many sparkles have we seen actually get fought thus far? Wyvern?
I think Wyvern.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there's still a lot of things it could be.
Oh no, that's not a nice thought.
Could be Ogopogo. Could be Plague, which is actually not a terrible fight. In most spots, you can manage to the speed of it and get through.
For sure. Nightdew going bottom up on the moon. We will see what awaits up at the river room.
The elements fight.
Huh. Well, it's not the worst fight to find here, for sure. As long as you know which part of the fight is weak to what, you'll be fine. Or you can just like whack it. That's fine too.
Yeah, just going hard is always an option. Not gonna bother with. There are some clever strats to avoid seeing quarter leg, for example. But when you've already got an Avenger pre-equipped, you're not planning for that. You're just hit hard.
Turns out that Elements is split in two, each sharing almost half of the HP, but it transforms into the second part of the fight as a counter script.
Mm-hmm.
So if you manage to bypass that and still defeat it, you basically skip half the fight. But when you have Avengers, you know.
Yeah. Nightdew's party is actually going so fast that we saw, he queued up that Fire 3 to do big damage against Mylon, and then it turns into Rubicante, who absorbs fire. So that's pleasant.
Just going too fast. Ooh, that lightning 3 was very nice though. We see microKorgs in this mirror match almost, dealing with Valvales, which, you don't have the spoon to throw this time. So you just have to rely on bursting your melee fighters and hoping for the best, which is, truthfully, a way less optimal thing, sadly.
Oh, Nightdew finds the hook behind the elements fight.
Very nice. Could be sirens down there in Eblin.
Yeah, that opens up the Eblin shops. Opens up the King Queen Eblin spot for a boss check if you're still hunting down Demas. And it lets us redeem that rat tail for, who knows, maybe a Pingatail.
Yeah, could be. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, this should not be a terrible fight. Mylon, does that lit one. It doesn't hurt very much. These zombies are going down pretty quickly to an Avenger Cecil. I would say Nightdew's approach of just big swings fast is paying off.
We were so scared about the moon, but here it is. It's not that scary. Shish. Phew. microKorgs warping out with the Legend Sword and his very own tanky items.
Yeah, so if he is inclined to grind, this would be the time to do so, but Keptiong does not have edge, so cannot go and steal sirens up in the tower. So doesn't have that egg option.
We will see.
Yeah. Nightdew had that option, but has not taken it. Is taking this approach instead, and so far so good.
Yeah, so far getting Moon EXP has been working out very nicely. Oh goodness, microKorgs did not do Dwarf Castle yet, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would explain why he doesn't have the edge.
Right? Wow, it all makes sense now.
Yeah. I guess I just assumed Korgs had done this and dismissed him. But no, didn't even have the opportunity. So I was actually showing Nightdew, even just getting an Artemis bow for this fight. Nightdew is pretty solidly ahead overall, just in terms of raw checks completed.
Artemis bow is a very nice piece of equipment, but at this point in the seed, you don't want it, especially because you already have one.
Yeah, I'm of the camp that like Artemis bow. It's great on Eddie. It's great on Sid. It's great on anybody who doesn't care about the fact that it tanks your magic stats. But there's so many archers, or so many characters that you want to be archers that you also want them to be doing magic. So I end up finding it's not as valuable as it looks.
Artemis bow or Herring rope are fantastic early game for mages, but it falls off when you actually want them to cast spells. But still, you can always target them as Zeramus. Oh boy, talk to Mammoth.
Yeah, this spot is fairly punchy, but survivable as we're seeing, and it's just gonna get slower as the party chips its legs away.
With that Avenger Cecil going like this, Octomammoth is not gonna be a threat. It's gonna get slow very quickly. Look at that. Even still, those punches hurt. microKorgs finishing up with Dwarf Castle, and it's going to get their white shirt, which I think Cecil can equip,
Cecil can equip it, yes.
which is nice for those big bangs that will be coming later on.
Tella could equip it as well if you want to lean on him for his magic and not his slowness.
Octomammoth being almost down. We will see what's hiding behind it shortly. Now that we have our sushi, we get
A rock.
that is an objective.
Yeah.
Nice.
At
And
this point,
What the rat tail has could be pigtail, could be twin harp.
yeah, exactly. We could be in go mode, depending on what's behind that rat tail. And you're thinking, there's at this point 3 checks left on the moon. The Crystal Sword altar, the Paladin spot, the Bahamut spot. Nightdew is going to keep going. Is going up to the Wyvern spot, that Crystal Sword altar. But if you get one or two more whiffs, like, do you go early?
Because I personally, I think I will take it, but I'm not very good at this game.
I don't know. There's a part of me that I would almost be tempted to hope for the perfectly linear, perfectly smooth play, and just go early, but not when there's a D-Mist at the Wyvern spot.
Ooh, that's a 2-for-1.
Yeah, this is the fight that you complete and then you head back. There's now so much that opens up.
And the ones that are left are the 2 chicks that are near the moon surface, right? So
Yep.
honestly, I would personally just take that rat tail and that demons and just exchange them. And if that's not what I want, just go back. But I feel that's a powerful play.
Yeah, honestly, the worst thing in that situation is that the 2 remaining spots are somehow necessary for, completing your objectives, like a harp into Pinktail sort of thing. And the other one is the pass.
That's true.
So that you're basically leaving the moon without all your objectives and without a fast way back. But that's a pretty narrow route at that point.
There are many ways of approaching this situation, and that's what's great about this randomizer. It's just the myriad ways you can just go ahead and do things.
I just noticed Nightdew does not have that Stardust Rod on that Palom after all this time. It's a good stat stick. Use it.
That's true. But Dimist, as long as you survive 3 punches per phase, you literally cannot lose.
Yeah,
So
you got all that missed time to heal yourself back up.
Dimist down. Some very inexperienced that Palom sadly is missing, but might be because of an anchor situation.
And there's a pass. So
Ooh.
at this point, I full clear the moon. I take less gamble here.
Honestly, yeah. You just deal with the moon, you're done with it, and then you never have to set foot on it ever again.
Yeah, but Nightdew willing to take enough of a risk. Again, we just need to find one key item out of that rat tail, and we're done.
Both options are very valid, for sure.
Yeah, but unfortunately, so are the other 2 options that are on the table, the package and the sand ruby. So, yeah.
True.
Maybe trying to save split this.
Meanwhile, microKorgs opting to do a King Ryu grind here on the moon, which is very nice.
Yeah, if you've got Tella, you've got a source of weak.
Yeah.
The HP pulls on these things don't matter.
That's 1 for 2. Ooh.
Yeah, that's one whiff on Nightdew's side.
Uh-oh.
If the rat tail leads to equipment or the package, then I'm hoping this is a safe scum situation.
It feels that way, yeah. Nightdew did pop a save on the moon, so we will see if this pays off or not.
Now all this said, we never checked the bed. There could actually be like a solid anchor character laying in that bed. That might actually be beautiful for setting up your Zeromus fight.
Could be the Rydia,
It could very well be.
which, won't be using any summons, but still could be the Rydia.
Level 1 Rydia for agility, that's a good low number.
That's being very useful to a team. Making the enemy easier, very nice.
It's a double whammy.
It's a double whammy? Oh no.
Yeah. So the solution here is somewhere up here on the moon. And Nightdew resets out, drops that Sand Ruby, drops that package. We got 2 boss spots to fight, and one of them is going to be the one that we need.
For sure. At the very least, at this point, you know you're going to finish. Like, you know that what you need is up here, so you just gotta go ahead and do it.
Yeah. And on top of that, you have the pass. So once you get what you need, you're out of here, and you ain't coming back.
You, like, both spots, like both boss fights, are just what you need, no doubt. I mean, unless Twin Harp is hiding something, but at this point,
Yeah.
it should be 2 out of 3 that this is just go mode item and go.
Yep. Basically, these are 50-50 fights. Either, actually no, I think the odds are 66%. I think I've entered a multi-hall problem on accident.
Oh, that's a Paladin. That's a slog and a half.
Yeah, that's Paladin in its vanilla spot, no less.
Huh.
Not
Actually-
not that terrible if you're leaning on physical attacks, though.
Don't tell anyone, but I tend to forget which lunar boss goes where. Shh.
Look, I mix up the Masamune and Murasame all the time. It's a rite of passage. Oh, and it's D-Lunar over
Ooh.
here. Edge can dart those Dragoon Spears. They will do the Dragon Weakness damage, and they won't set off the counter script. Cecil with an Avenger will, though, is the thing, so have fun with that.
Does the spear like trigger weaknesses, like throwing?
I believe it does. Because that was a strong 4K when Edge is just swinging for 1K.
I mean, Edge is high level, and the Dragoon Spear is very powerful.
That is true.
Can someone in chat confirm if weaknesses are applied when throwing? That will be very nice.
Yeah, just dive into the game's assembly code and let us know.
Nightdew's Paladin fight is going very nice. Morpheus confirming that weaknesses are not applied when throwing. It's just raw level and weapon power.
Oh, well, there you go.
Nightdew going through, well, both runners are going through their respective bosses. So we are going to get the confirmation for both key item spots at the same time.
And it's Value Cave. That is a twin harp.
Wow. Just like the bottom. Like, is this a 5 objective set?
Well,
5 out of 5?
here's the thing. If microKorgs still needs the hook. microKorgs has to go down to the bottom and get that hook out of the ribbon room. But if he does, he is in go mode, and he is not going.
Oh dear. Bye,
Oh.
microKorgs.
That
The viewer's curse applies once again.
I dare say that is probably going to be the moment that costs Korgs the race if he doesn't win this. It is a totally sensible move, but unfortunately, he's going to be left out to dry a little bit and has to go all the way back to the ribbon room and then all the way back to Earth and then all the way back to the moon.
Sadly, we are burdened with forbidden information about this seed, which Korgs does not have yet. So, while this is a sensible play, sadly it is not the correct play, technically. Too bad. Nonetheless, we are going to get music a little early, so that's very nice. Let's look at this from the positive side. Ooh. Our streamers, the wonderful Scala Kitty, has informed us that microKorgs has something special for when they get to music. I don't know what that means, but hey.
Is it music?
I don't know. Could be.
I mean, the music is usually pretty special.
Hey, even if Korgs end up losing this race, I mean, if it's a really nice surprise, they will have one in my heart, for sure. Now I'm all excited. Saving.
A little surprising because we've seen so many rude fights thus far.
True,
Uh,
true.
I don't know why you would use a siren in here, but
Trying to steal Bacchus from the Mad Ogres, probably, I think. But
yeah,
magnetized right now, which is a little troublesome.
yeah. I think just unequipping Edge to try and get him demagnetized. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't
But
know
that
if you
is
will.
that is Nightdew getting the harp as well.
And Nightdew is going to make a beeline for that Twin Harp. Technically 17 out of 17. Just bam, bam, bam. 5 out of 5 objectives done. I mean, that Excalibur is very nice.
Yeah, I feel like his Cecil gear is solid enough, but you're not gonna say no to it.
For sure.
It was so. We do know that the pink tail will be behind the twin harp, and we do have to do the twin harp check. We have already seen the package in Sand Ruby showing up elsewhere that Nightdew just reset out of.
Ooh. Baka Shinobi pointing out that Nightdew can Avenger glitch to have double Excal using only one Excalibur. That's very nice. That's true.
Yeah. If you you start a character in a fight with a given weapon and then give them the Avenger and let the Avenger do the attack command, it will retain the stats of the initial weapon for the remainder of the fight. So you can have a Cecil come in with the Excalibur, give him the Avenger sword, then put the Excalibur that you just removed on the other one. And
Turns out
there you go.
that the game checks for removing the stats when the character's turns come up. And you know, if you just swing your sword, it technically never comes up, so. But now we see the tragic Tarkov cutscene, which will take a while, and then we will get the surprise. I don't know, Chad. I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, it is a mystery.
We can Nightdew going up to do the same check, while we will see. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, I knew it. I've seen this in his stream. I'll be quiet.
That's some production value for microKorgs.
Over in a single swing.
And showing us that indeed it is the pink tail here, as we got to see, we got to hear that. That did sound like the Runaway 5 from Earthbound.
I don't remember that song, so I'll take it.
Yeah, but Nightdew is going to give us a quick reprise. As microKorgs now has to hunt down that hook.
I am very glad that the microKorgs did this, because this is something microKorgs does in his casual streams. So I'm very happy that he graced us with his massive production value in an official race. And now for a reprisal.
Oh, we're actually getting corrected in chat that this is not from Earthbound. It's from Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. It has been a minute since I've played Earthbound myself, but that did sound. I mean, to be fair, when it started, I would have thought it was something from Final Fantasy VI. But there's a lot of good video game music that could show up on this harp. But that is Nightdew with the crystal. That is Nightdew in go mode. microKorg still has to go find that hook. And he's doing top down, which is not going to work out for him. So we do have the hook in the ribbon room. So in all likelihood, if he's going top down, he might hit that adamant rock first. Actually, wait, no, that was deeper in. So either way. Nightdew, though, with that pass in hand, is heading straight to Zeromus. So there's a valid question, an important question, as we have, over 200 harp songs that we could hear. Apparently, we can't even identify them all anymore. We've also got a good 526 different sprites that Zeromus could take on.
Oh my, all these flags. How exciting.
Yeah. Alchemy, would you like to do the honors?
Thank you very much. Zeromus is too powerful, has too many strong abilities. We can't just change where he is, but we can change how he looks. So the big question is, whose spot are we kicking tonight?
I don't know. Personally, I'm hoping for the Zeromus, which is the number 0.
Honestly, I was talking about this in Venerable stream the other day. I hope this is peak Camus, if people know what that one looks like. I will feel it fits in the spirit of what Nightdew did earlier. This is it, but we'll see.
Nope, it's
Reset moves, huh? That's cheeky.
Yeah, there's. I don't know. I'm sure there's a Mr. Rossetti joke somewhere in here, but as I indicated at the start of this, it's early where I am, so.
But Nightdew has the levels, has the HP. I first
As the Excaliburs.
Yeah, I foresee no issues with this fight, honestly. But hey, Ceramos is a roadblock. It's the final boss for a reason. So unless you know the spread, you know your strats, you're gonna be in for a bad time. But these runners are top notch, so they know what they're doing.
Yep, this is looking like this is gonna be pure Zerk strats with the melee fighters. Let Porm and Palom kind of play support as they're needed. And that does mean you're going to go through the entire health pool that Zeromus has. We're not going to be clever with our reflect strats or do anything along those lines, but you're swinging for 4k a pop. You can handle the health pool, it's fine.
Yeah, you nerf your big bangs, the Cecils are going bird, you pop a burst on the edge. You're fine. You're fine. As Kay mentions in chat, health pool, what health pool? It's just all over the floor, this health pool you keep mentioning. Meanwhile, microKorgs still going through the lunar subterranean, fighting off against elements, having little trouble. A solid party with a good anchor, Edge and Eddie doing good damage as well. Seems good to me as well.
Yeah, not leaning too hard on getting the clever elemental attacks in. Just Quake, just do Quake. It's Quake. Quake's fine. And that's a hook, so that is microKorgs in go mode as well.
Mm-hmm. While Nightdew might be finishing the fight, unless something horrible happens, microKorgs will be following suit right behind him.
Yeah, but again, the problem is Korgs does not have that pass, and the lunar subterranean is a long, long walk.
Oh, that is true. That is true. So, a quick shout outs to. Oh, never mind. That was so fast, I couldn't even say it.
Well, there's our GG for Nightdew. Taking down the reset button. Coming in with an official time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 24 seconds. GG.
Beautiful. Very, very nice down. For sure.
But that is Nightdew hitting the dot down right as microKorgs gets his crystal and a white shirt and is ready to go back and take on Zeromus himself.
And it seems we are joined by Nightdew. Hello.
Hello.
That was exciting to watch.
Yeah, a little bit of heart pounding when you hit the moon there and you reset out and you effectively 17 the seed, and you don't like feeling that because you're like, well, what if I did it in this order and all that kind of thing. But no, I felt I did pretty well here.
I can confirm. I also think you did really well.
Yeah, you taught us something new about the hair dryers as well.
Yeah,
I taught myself something new about the hair dryer. I did not know you couldn't cough in those guys.
Yeah, that's enough health on all of those that I don't blame you for bailing out and not trying to knock them down. But you didn't really seem to be hurting for XP very much throughout the entire seed anyway.
No, that was an absolutely crazy initial loot. It kind of hurts you at 8 minutes in, you haven't done a single thing, but you've got 3 Zeus gauntlets. I mean, you don't have any kind of weapons except for the edge that finally showed up eventually in Dwarf Castle. But I mean, by the time I had cleaned out that Earth Crystal, Like, I know I tapped a few chests, sure, but I mean, to be completely fair, there was no more looting to be done in that seed.
Yeah, I almost feel like your initial approach is like doing that aggressive looting probably helped you long term. Because again, you weren't doing any more looting beyond that, and you had solid equipment. MicroKorgs, kind of took the early game as you normally would.
Yeah, that early magma key just kind of says, "Hey, let's go hit dwarf. Let's check all of our item shops. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll get some sirens, an hourglass, or coffins. And hey, we found the coffins. We found the hourglasses. Sirens were nowhere to be found, and probably in Cave Evelyn if I really had to guess. But I mean, by that time, that and the Bacchus wine, I was kind of regretting dumping Tella, and honestly, I probably should have given it to Quack Kid, but I mean, we had crystal rings, protect rings, white shirts, all the apples Porum could eat. I mean, she was indestructible as Erlmus.
Speaking of, did you ever give Quack Kid the Stardust Rod? I saw you didn't have it on him for a bit, and I was like a little surprised, but I lost track of your equipping.
No, I never did. I'm like, I should give that to him sometime. And then I'm like, oh, hey, look what's over there. And that Stardust Rod just sat there shining in my bag, doing nothing. It even evaded the everything must go when I sold off everything to buy a couple more apples and ribbons in the Cocoa shop. I'm like, I should put this on him, but like, wait, what am I going to do with this? We're going to Cave Magnus, and then we're going to Z, and he doesn't have Nuke, and I have 2 Cecils and an Edge. Quack Kid's not doing anything in the final fight.
That's fair. That's fair. So, I'm gonna have to ask you this. You were this close to completely fading Antlion. What was the thought behind that? I'm curious.
Oh no, that I mean, it was a very planned fate of Antlion. I mean, I had Magma Key, and I mean, part of me is like, I have Palom, I have Cecil, and the question I have with that kind of party is, how quick can I get to Mount Ordeals? And then I just kept driving around, and Earth Crystal turned into that, and I'm like, and then I took Hobbs, and then what was up there that was a jerk and knocked over one of my characters there? I can't even remember. All I know is Hobbs knocked over somebody, so I went over to Fabul for the free heal, and lo and behold, here's a Pan, a Leviathan. There he goes. Yeah, Leviathan knocked over Palom. So at that point, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna walk over to Fabul, take the free heal. Yes, I know I faded Shield 1, and then Vindication in Cast Iron right there.
Very nice. You love to see it when that happens.
Yeah, so this puts you at 3-1 so far in the tournament. How are you feeling about your position and all of that thus far?
I mean, better to be 3-1, and I mean, I know how, especially like in CZ3 and the Fabul Gauntlet, I was always joking about, hey, I lost a couple rounds early, and it feels really nice not to have your back up against the wall, especially looking at some of the 3-1s, like, hey, I've already played Flurry, I've already played Ikir, I'm dodging some landmines here, so yeah, I mean, you can't not feel great about being 3-1 at this point.
Even like no matter your score, this tournament has been hot. Like people are so good at this game. Like no matter what you are in the ladder, you're just gonna feel threatened because everyone is just so good.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I'm 17 out of 17, and I am nervously looking over at the monitor that has the Discord on it, like, hey, where's the dot done from Korgs? Because I know Korgs is really good, honestly.
He is, yeah, a scary opponent.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, some of it was, your varied routing decisions, kind of fading Sheila 1, did go to your advantage. But I was saying before we started, like, luck can carry you only so far in this. You still have to be really good at execution, and you were showing really good execution to make that win.
Yeah, I think I got really lucky because, I mean, and I've had this discussion with a few people on leaving that Avenger glued to somebody's hand, in this case Cecil, and I run up to D-Lunars at K Value, And this is actually the best possible thing there, because I would so much rather deal with, 5 to 800 point virus shots than taking 2k from those physicals and 25% across the board on those fires. I'll happily run into the virus script on that one.
For sure. It's interesting that sometimes you just want to trip up the monster's counters on purpose because your party composition is that strong.
Yeah, I mean, even without it, that's someplace. It's definitely. I mean, there's very few places where you really want to trigger that virus script, and that is one of them.
So one thing that was interesting to me was that you dove underground immediately while microKorgs just kept doing overworld checks. But then you switched places, and then you met in the middle before diverging again. I just think that is a very interesting thing. What point to go underground right away? Just the loot in general?
Part of the loot there, because yes, it's T Wildish, but with the max tier 6, but the greater weight, behind a key item, in this case the magma key, you're going to get a little bit better value out of Dwarf Castle, the back of Tamra, and especially the upper floors of the Fey March, and I know I got quite a few good things out of there, and I thought about sticking around for the 5 warrior chest and upper Fey March, but I had enough there, and I knew the bottom floors, and by the time I got that, I knew there was a key item coming to me. Get the information of the Fey March bosses. Hey, look, there's an objective. So it paid off very well. You really don't like to see Dark Knight Cecil there, but that's besides the point.
You really don't.
Yeah, but you made it work when you did come back. So props for that.
Yeah, the Earth Crystal there was absolutely just kind of the icing on the cake, and it's like I said, it's between all that's your loot for the seed. That's all you need, honestly. And what was it, 3 total Zeus gauntlets I had found?
Yeah, lot of Zeus gauntlets.
Yeah, I was begging for that edge with 2 ninja swords, a ninja shirt, and a Zeus gauntlet in my inventory, because somebody else could wear. One of the Cecils could take the only 1 power shirt I had, and I was kind of hoping for more in the Coco shop, but that's kind of greedy of me at that point.
So Nightdew, congratulations, and any other thoughts you had on this race?
I think we got it all. It was, you don't really feel bad when you sub 140, a 17 out of, an effective 17 out of 17. Resetting out of those moon checks was a thing, but aside from kind of flubbing up the DKC fight and board AI hitting me on Yang, I feel good about it.
Astro Shield, I am out.
All right, thank you very much then.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Nightdew, our winner for this match. As we see over on microKorgs screen, it's down to an Avenger Cecil and a prayer, as rocks have fallen and taken out the remainder of the party, but there goes Resetmas, and that is a clear for microKorgs as well.
GG. Beautiful. Sometimes all you need is just an Avenger. That's all.
Alright, the only important hit point is the last one, and Cecil had 1,700 more than that.
For sure. And we are joined by microKorgs. Hello, microKorgs.
Hello, Alchemy. Hello, Hupfin. That seed is now complete, I believe.
Yes.
Very completed, yes.
17 out of 17, almost.
Yeah, almost. I kind of had some fun in Fey March there for a while. I wanted to give both bosses a couple looks, say hello to them multiple times, because they're both in alternate universes, part of your party, kind of. So.
Yeah, it's nice to say hi and catch up. Those are we were saying the moment we saw them. Those are going to be rude fights for almost anybody.
We saw you picking up that Edward, and we were like, oh, that's gonna be an early boss fight. So, but we didn't know how early that was. That was such a fast Dark Knight Cecil. It wasn't we were surprised that the script ends if Edward is hiding, apparently. So that was nice.
Yeah, I was waiting for more waves. I kind of forgot that happened. So yeah, I got through DKC easily, and I said, all right, with the right RNG, I can just shift one tile to the left and fight Karate Man. But yeah, there were a couple errors there made. I had to try a couple times, and then the equipment wasn't where I wanted. So I don't think that was 10-minute difference between Nightdew and I, but it would have been a little closer if I'd gone through that cleaner. So that was a little frustrating. You can't make mistakes against someone as good as Nightdew.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
No, I think the ultimate thing that cost you the time was how you handled the moon and going back without the hook yet, because that caused you to return, get that, go back. I think that is where you lost the time. If you had stuck around and gone down to the ribbon room, I think it could have been a lot closer. But that was not a bad play to have made. It's only knowing what we know now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only bad in retrospective, and that doesn't count really.
I just know how good Nightdew is, and I just felt behind, and I said, all right, maybe I grabbed the second half of the forge, and maybe this is it. But yeah, of course you get the pink tail, but no ability to turn it in, so I had to make a couple extra trips on the whale.
Yeah, it's when you're at this level, I totally understand making gambles, and again, if that was the adamant rock, you were set. But so it goes.
Yeah, felt a little shaky not having. I was totally out of curatives. I took a couple stabs at cure 3s or even cure 2s at the end, but then I just kind of figured getting to nuke, I could probably overwhelm Z, and luckily that worked out.
So while you were running down Cape Magnus, Shell sneakily tell us, "Ooh, microKorgs has a surprise," and we were like, so, "Tell us about that wonderful spotlight. What's up with that?"
Well, it's for many people, it's our favorite part of the randomizer. It's such a great feature to kind of replace the vanilla song with now hundreds of various, mostly video game songs. And there's a bit of a cutscene, and it's dramatic already. So I just I just want to increase the drama a little bit, give Eddie his due. I made it originally kind of after Fabu Gauntlet. It was kind of a clunkier version. I cleaned it up a few months ago. Still have some more ideas for things I want to do with it, but I like kind of honoring the different aspects of free enterprise as I stream. And normally I don't do that for for the official races, but Scala Kitty asked, and I thought that'd be fun. We made it happen.
Oh, so about Scala, huh? I see.
Our Scala, our restreamer, currently laughing almost maniacally in our ears. Certainly taking blame for that. But we do appreciate you, microKorgs, contributing that, and we appreciate you showing us that race with those occasional interesting Eddie strats. Like to see that kind of variety played out. How are you feeling about sitting 2-2 at this stage?
Well, now the fun starts, right? Now I have to win 2 more matches, and I cannot lose. So, because I cannot lose, maybe I will not lose. That's the best I can hope for, I guess.
Huh? Good logic. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sounds like a plan.
Of course, when the matchups get posted on probably Sunday, then I can look at whoever it is. As everyone knows, at every single record, there are people that would be favored against me, and I'm gonna have to just run a really clean, great race against whoever it ends up being.
You're good at this game, so I'm sure you play it off. Thanks again, microKorgs. Anything else you would like to add?
No, just thanks to everyone that gets this going. Thank you for the two of you, Alchemy and Hubfin, for the broadcast. For our tracker today, I think it was Taven and Scala for the seed, for the restream, and for allowing me to share the Eddie spotlight.
Well, thank you for running this race and putting on a good show, microKorgs.
All right, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you. And those were our runners, so please give them a follow. microKorgs loves doing like high production value stuff. Like there is one for French Vanilla that is so once in his stream. It's hilarious. Really recommend it.
So yes, we will wrap this up really quick. We do have a lot of races slated for today. Alchemy, I don't know if you have the schedule pulled up already.
I don't have the matches here, and let me tell you, there's so many races. we're streaming 5 races with this one, I believe, and if that's not enough, if you're a wizard, you can pull also non-restrained races if you wanted. There's just
But in terms of our broadcast schedule today, we have at 5 p.m. Eastern here on the Free Enterprise channel, we have Roddy Sniper and Frankie Bones. We'll be back on this channel again at 9 p.m. with Flurry 14 and Dr. Cossack. Between those, over on Randomania channels, they've been great partners to us throughout this tournament. We have Classy Badger versus Vitasia, 7 p.m. Eastern on Randomania 2, Sorbius and Harumph at 8 p.m. Eastern on Randomania 3.
So be sure to check those out if you're thirsting for even more Free Enterprise. I'm sure they'll put on a great show.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we are going to be sending y'all over to Demarine, a prominent runner member of the community who's playing some completely normal Free Enterprise seeds. Absolutely nothing to worry about.
How nice.
Totally normal.
Just
Smile.
Free Enterprise. Wink, wink.
Just good Free Enterprise. Don't spoil this race.
Shh.
You better not spoil it. We have newspapers. We will newspaper if necessary. But yeah, have a good rest of your day, however much more day there is for you.
I wanted to mention, thanks a lot to everyone that watched this race for cheering me on and stuff. It's very nice to finally be able to commentate. Usually I'm around races at past midnight, so this was very pleasant. So thanks to everyone in the community for being so nice and welcoming.
Yeah, Algaby, thank you very much for being my co-host, and yeah, hope to hear you on the mic again soon.
Thank you. Now we'll kick you off to Demarine. Take care, everyone.